Hello students, good morning. Myself Chandani Bhattacharjee, Department of Philosophy, SS College, Hailakandi. This is my first online class with you. So, welcome you all to this online class. Today, we are going to discuss about logic. I think this is a new term for you. So, let us see what actually logic is. What is logic? In this world, we are getting two kinds of things mainly. These are living, that means having life, and non-living, that means without life. So, living things means it includes say man, animal, fishes, all living things, and non-living means table, chair, desk, bench, etc., etc. Again, living thing is divided into two groups. These are human and non-human. That means, in living groups, we again are getting two, that is human and non-human. Human means human being or man as a whole, and non-human means all living things other than human beings. Say for example, animal, trees, flowers, fishes, insects, all are non-human living. Now, question is, what is then the difference between human and non-human, whereas both belong to living group? Human means human being, man as a whole, and non-human means other than man, other living animals, for example, cow, dog, etc., insects, fish, etc. So, question is, then what is the difference between man and animal, that means human and non-human, both belongs to same group, that is living group? What is the difference? What is the difference between man and animal then? My dear students, man is a rational animal. Animals are animal, but man is a rational animal. That means animals are animals because they are having animality as their attribute, quality. But man as a rational animal, here man possesses two common qualities, animality as well as rationality. So, quality of animal is animality, but quality of man is animality plus rationality. This rationality is the attribute which distinguishes man from other kinds of animal. I repeat, rationality is the attribute which distinguishes man from other kinds of animal. Now, the question is, what is rationality? It has come from the word reason. That means man has the power of reason. Man can reason, and that is why man can think. Man possesses the power of thinking, and this power of thinking of man comes from, that is, emerges from rationality. Okay? As man can think, man can reason, and this thinking capacity of man is something which differentiates man from animal. Again, as man can think, man can reason, so man always wants to know the unknown. He wants to gather knowledge. Knowledge is something which is outside you, it is not within you. Knowledge means knowledge of something. We are to acquire knowledge from outside. As man can think, because man is a rational element, so man is curious also, and he wants to know things which is outside there. He wants to gather knowledge. So, man can think, thinking capacity is there in man, and with the help of this, man gather knowledge. But knowledge is not always true. There are false knowledges also. Why? Because human thinking may not always be correct. What you think may be true, may not be true. So, if your very thinking process is wrong, the knowledge which you receive with the help of your thinking process may also be wrong. So, knowledge should be correct one, valid one. Then what to do? To get true knowledge, thinking must be correct. To get true knowledge, your thinking must be correct. So, human thinking must go through some correct and systematic ways for the attainment of truth. As you are to get true knowledge, your thinking must be correct. But again there is question, how to make thinking correct, how to make correct thinking for the acquisition of valid knowledge. What is the process? From beginning, logicians have been trying to formulate certain principles to guide human thinking so that thinking may be correct. They are trying from beginning to formulate certain principles. In that case, logic formulates certain principle of correct thinking. Here comes logic. Logic formulates certain principles of correct thinking. Logic teaches man to think correctly. It is only through correct thinking that we can get correct or valid knowledge. Now, what is then logic? What is the definition? The word logic is derived from the Greek word logai, and it is an adjective. The word logite is an adjective of the noun logos. The noun is logos, and the word logite is the adjective of it, and logos means thought. The meaning of the logos is thought. Again question, what is thought? Means thinking process of man. What is thought? Thought is an act of mind. It is a kind of activity which is related to mind, that is an mental activity. There are kinds of activities: physical activities, mental activities. Physical activities means swimming, eating, running, dancing, all are activities, but physical. But thought is an act of mind, that means thinking is a mental activities. Thinking, feeling, willing, these are the three functions of mind. Now, thinking is a kind of mental activity, running is a kind of physical activity. What is the difference between thinking activity and physical activity? If I say someone is dancing, you go and watch. Yes, really, someone is dancing. Someone is eating, you go and watch. That someone is really eating. Likewise, if I say someone is thinking, you go and watch. Do you think that these three kinds of activities are alike? No. Dancing, eating, running, these activities are physical, you can prove, but thinking, feeling, willing, no direct proof. If I say someone is thinking something, we really do not know whether actually the man is thinking or what is thinking, etc., etc. So, thinking, feeling, willing, these are mental activities, these are the three functions of mind. Now, it is the task of logic, that means logic deals with the thinking aspects of mind. Logic deals with that thinking aspects of mind. So, what is logic? We can say logic is the science of thought as expressed in language. Logic is the science of thought as expressed in language. Logic is concerned with thought which is expressed through language. It deals, that means logic, deals with the external form of language. So, logic deals with the external form of language. Now, the word thought, which I have said earlier, may be expressed in the form of inference or reasoning. The word thought may be expressed in the form of inference or reasoning. Now, man acquires various kinds of knowledge. Man acquires various kinds of knowledge, but question is how? How man can acquire various kinds of knowledge? It is outside there. You are to know what is the source. Again, in case of knowledge, there are two forms, direct knowledge and indirect knowledge. Again, question arises, what is direct knowledge? And how do you get it? What is the source? Answer is, direct knowledge is that type of knowledge which man can get directly with his or her 5 sense organs. That means we have our 5 sense organs: eyes, ear, nose, tongue and skin. These are the 5 sense organs we have. Now, there are some knowledge which we are getting through our 5 sense organs. That means directly you are perceiving some flowers, some trees, and you are getting knowledge about that. Directly you are listening to some voice and you know that this is the voice of Ram Babu. Directly you can smell something, directly you can taste something as sweet, directly you can touch something as cold or hot, etc. And these all are direct knowledge. Again, this kind of direct knowledge is also known as the perceptual knowledge. Perceptual knowledge, what does it mean? Perceptual knowledge is a kind of direct knowledge which we receive through our 5 sense organ. That means knowledge which we receive through our 5 sense organ, say eye, ear, nose, tongue and skin, they are known as perceptual knowledge and a kind of direct knowledge. Directly you can perceive something, directly you can hear something, directly you can taste something. These all are known as perceptual knowledge, and this is one of the sources of knowledge. Knowledge you are to receive. So, first source is perceptual knowledge. But there is one problem in the case of perceptual knowledge. What it is? Knowledge which we receive through our 5 sense organ is very much limited. Knowledge is so vast, but knowledge which we receive through our 5 sense organ is very much limited. Question is, why it is so? Why it is limited? It is so because the capacity of man's 5 sense organ is limited. We have our 5 sense organ and we get knowledge through these also, but man's 5 sense organ is limited, means the capacity of man's 5 sense organ is limited. So, for example, you perceive, you can see something, you can hear something, but you cannot see too far, you cannot listen to too far. Here is the limitation. So, it is because the capacity of man's 5 sense organ is limited. So, knowledge through sense organ is limited because of the limited capacity of 5 sense organ. Now what to do? Knowledge is vast and our sources so limited. That is why man need another source of knowledge. And here direct knowledge is also not possible, and that another source of knowledge which we are getting indirectly, and it is known as inference or reasoning. So, our second source of knowledge is inference or reasoning, and it is indirect. The word thought may be expressed in the form of inference or reasoning. So, inference or reasoning is a process by means of which one may pass from something known to unknown. I repeat, I am telling that the second source of knowledge is inference or reasoning, and it is a kind of indirect knowledge. Now, what is inference or reasoning then? Inference or reasoning is a process by means of which one may pass from something known to something unknown. Something known means that we know, and it is the material of reasoning, and the unknown means that we do not know, it is the conclusion. For example, we know that all crows are black, all swans are white, all men are mortal, etc. Question is, how do we know all crows are black? Is it possible for us to perceive all crows? All crows means crows in future, past, present, all. Is it possible to perceive? No. All swans are white. Is it possible to perceive all swine? No. And here direct knowledge, the direct perception of all crows, all swans is also not possible. Then how do you say all crows are black, all swans are white? You have perceived some crows, you have perceived some swans as white or crows as black. So, this perception of some crows as black, some swans as white, after perceiving some, you make a general conclusion. You infer that as some swans are white as some crows are black. So, maybe it is the case that all crows are black, all swans are white. This process where you are jumping from some to all, known to unknown, this is known as inference or reasoning. So, this brings me to the end of this lesson.